What's up, beautiful people? You already know this is. This is Levar, aka Ramzie, the editor-in-chief of Snubb3d Magazine. And today on the sit down, we have a very special guest. Many of you know her already, but some may be new. So without further ado, on the sit down, we're gonna let our guest introduce herself.
Hey, it's your girl, Bonita Jalane, singer-songwriter from Brooklyn, New York, residing in Atlanta, a lyricist, storyteller, healer, affirmations, all of the good things. Bonita Jalane.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
Definitely. Number one, thank you for coming on the sit down today. We've been working behind the scenes on, how we've been
Yes.
working trying to make this happen, and it's finally
Yes.
here.
We're here. That's all that
Right, that's all
matters.
that
And
matters, right?
timing is everything. And I'm a firm believer in trusting God and knowing that his timing is always the right time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and kick it off. As I tell my guests all the time, it's not an interview, it's a conversation. So
Yes.
let's start off where it all began for you. A lot of us have many different backgrounds where we come from, how we got introduced to the industry. So how did it all happen for you? And what was that growing up for you, going after your passion to where you are today?
Oh man, it started off, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. It started off just singing on the choir and just, wanting to sing and always wanted to sing. And in the school, I've always was the youngest. Like I auditioned for my choir. I was 5 years old, so I was the youngest on my choir that they allowed to go and travel. We'd been to Japan, all different places with my choir. And then in high school, I was the youngest freshman, the first freshman that they allowed to join the gospel choir, which we won the McDonald's Gospel Fest a few times. My church choir did too, as well as my school choir. And so it just was always a passion in my family. Grew up in music and everything. I didn't start officially doing it. When I was in high school, I used to do hooks for Dipset. So a friend of
Yeah.
mine used to intern with them. And that's how I started off. I got the opportunity to do a track for J.R. Ryder and Cameron Ham picked me to do the track. And ever since then, I started working with Jewels. And then it's just fuel under my fire. But I didn't know anything about the business. I just knew I could sing. So I was just on a whole bunch of hooks, just, wanting to sing, get it out there. And then when I moved to Atlanta after college, I feel like that's when it was like, you know what? I came here to work with my mentor, who is Alex Richburg, who was like the third founding member of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, but the one that no one really knows about the behind the scenes one.
Right.
He basically cultivated me artist development, a lot of artists nowadays. I feel like this is essential, and he artist developed me as a writer. Like he would make me write 5 6 songs to the same track, and saying just continue to get my lyrics out there, to say like mean something or to feel something when I was writing. And I feel like that was the bug. And then in 2012 I dropped my first single on my own, which is Out of This World featuring Mickey Fax. So yeah, that's a little bit of background from where I started.
Definitely. No. A
Yes.
lot of people don't understand. Sometimes it takes those opportunities
Yeah.
to make us even open the doors for us. And sometimes it may seem little to some, but it's whatever you make it into. A lot
Yes.
of people will be like, "Oh yeah, I just did this opportunity," and then after that, they're done. They think
Uh-uh.
that it's just magically gonna just go in
No,
the air and blow up, and boom, I'm this person,
definitely not. I'm a
Right.
firm believer, and it takes time. I call myself the turtle. Like my mother used to collect turtles when I was little, and I didn't realize until about 2 years ago that that was my actual birthday on the Mayan calendar. It's just crazy how the universe works. How God don't make no mistakes on how He puts things together. And she used to collect turtles when I was little, about 7 8, and I didn't find out until was older that I'm actually am the turtle. But I used to call
Right.
myself the tortoise and the hare, because I always felt like, it was times where it was ups and downs, and I was like, "Dag, why am I still going?" I have peers, like I've opened for Chris Brown. I was in studio with Chris Brown when he first was starting off, running around. I was running around playing tag and stuff like that.
Right.
And I was there when Neo was writing and first started. So I've seen a lot of my peers come and start and have huge careers right now. And I just think, I just kept going. I was like, okay, when is my time? But I
Right.
always feel like I call myself the turtle, because I feel like even though it's taken me a while, I'm still gonna win the race. I'm staying in my own lane, and I'll get to where I'm supposed to be in the time that I'm supposed to get there.
Yeah, and I think a
Yeah.
lot of people need to understand that because there's
Yeah.
been, of course, many times on our end that like we'll sometimes sit there. A lot of people will sometimes like, oh, he must have just started, and they don't know that I've been in the industry for 20 years. Like they don't know that stuff, but they
Yeah.
but they just automatically assume by certain
Mm-hmm.
things, or they don't know that, of course,
Yep.
with certain NDAs that you sign that you can't talk
Mm-hmm.
about certain
Yeah.
projects. I tell people all the time, like there's
Yeah.
so many things that behind the scenes that you don't
Mm-hmm.
know that people have had their hands on but they can't talk about it, you know? So, let's talk about recently you've dropped your album.
Yes.
Let's talk about that and the story because it's a story that goes along with it. It's
Hmm.
not just a album. It's a I want to say like a self-declaration album at the end
Yeah.
of how everything is. So let's go ahead and talk about the album.
So my album was called Kept Kissing Frogs, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's 5 years in the making of life happening, ups and downs, writing for other people, not believing in myself, just dealing with different relationships, not just in relationships, romantic relationships, but relationship with business, relationship with friends, relationship with family. And it was a lot of changes that was going up and down. But one thing that I always did was stay creative within it. So it was times where I was like, oh, I'm gonna put it out this year. And then things happen
Mhm.
and I stopped. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna put it out this year. But in the time that I was doing it, I kept creating, just kept creating and just kept stacking. By the time I decided to do it, I had over 30 songs, but a few of them, like I had to have so many songs redone, from, the business not being right with different producers and different stuff like that. And I'm a lyricist, so I love the fact that I write my own stuff, which is a blessing because it would have been even worse if the business wasn't right, where I had to get like production and
Right.
rewritten. But the fact that I wrote my own lyrics, it was definitely helpful.
Right.
But just storytelling and telling my story, and it's crazy from the first track that I recorded on a song, and it's all a part of my journey and the growth, from where I was starting and where the last song ended off. And the last song was a remake that I did, which was a bonus from my first album. But just to record it again and be in a different space was absolutely amazing. I hope that didn't interrupt anybody. I put it on Do Not Disturb. I don't know how
I know you're
a
good.
text message came through, but it was just like a beautiful time. I say a beautiful time because I'm in a different space right now. I'm realizing that a lot of things that we go through in life, they are meant to character build and to get us to the place that we're supposed to be, right? So in the midst of if you would have asked me last year, I would have been like, no, why?
Right.
But coming out of it, I'm like, okay, that's why that had to happen. It's still so many unknowns that I don't know, but I do know that I'm loving the present and I'm starting to love the journey and where I'm at right now, because you're only going to get this one time right now. You
Right.
don't get this back again. So I'm loving it, to be honest with you. All of the blessings that's coming, all of the lessons that's coming, I put it in the record, I put it in the album, and I just love listening to it. It's absolutely full body work, and it's just the beginning of where I'm at right now. So the new music is going to be even better.
Right. And I tell people sometimes, like for me, um, when an artist tells their life story, it's
Hmm.
more genuine because you understand it. You went through that.
Yeah.
You're going with like in the album, you're
Hmm.
walking through the journey with the artist. And I think
Hmm.
sometimes people get caught up of, oh, I want to have these hit bangers or whatever. But
Hmm.
then it becomes a part of like, okay, well, that didn't do nothing for me. Skip,
Hmm.
skip, skip, skips. Oh, there's my song. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
You
mhm,
always want a
mhm,
body of work that
mhm.
just takes you on a journey. So you once you started, you're like, oh, I gotta stay. What happens next? What happens this and
Yes,
that, you
yep,
know?
yep.
So I
That's
think that's the
exactly.
power of that. And also the longevity of how long it took you to make the album, you know? I'm sure there's probably moments where like I know for me sometimes it's like I'm shelving it. Like I'm
Mhm,
not good
mhm,
on it. Like
mhm. Yeah,
I don't even want to because some
yep,
things you're being vulnerable about
yep.
and you're like, you know what, like I'm good. Like we're not even gonna go there, you know?
Mhm. I
Um,
went there.
right,
Yep.
right. But also, being in this industry, you have to have a different type of mentality.
Mhm.
And being in the current state that we're in right now, how do
Yeah.
you keep yourself afloat? Being a representative for music, for R&B, for soul, and just good music, you know?
Mhm.
So how do you keep your mentality focused and clear-minded? Where's your go-to space?
Yeah, everybody's hold on. I put on do not disturb. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody keep texting me. I'm like, what is going on right now? But the mental space, to be honest with you, mental health is real. And during this journey, it was therapy for me. Like
Right.
literally, I'm in therapy, but this my music is a little bit no, it's about the same level. It's even more sensitive.
Right.
But at least I can put that energy somewhere. And in the state of where music is now,
Right.
it's to be honest with you. I'm not mad at where music is now. If a lot of artists might not understand this, like because this is the time for indie artists. I'm gonna be example. I'll give a huge example for you. I've been around there. I've been around the big artists and the big major label. I've been in those rooms, and some of them to this day, I can't talk about who, but some of them to this day is like, I wish that I never had went that route, or I wish that
Yeah.
I would stay indie and stuff like that. The biggest thing that you get from having like the major label behind you. I'm not knocking it, but you do get the popularity. You get the
Right.
fame. You get them pushing your record. But what I love about this journey is I get to authentically meet people. The people that come to me and they find me and they support and they follow me, they are so the ones that rock, they genuinely rock with me. Is
Right.
no machine behind me. They see the grind, they see the love, they see the passion behind it, and the support. It touches them when I have people come to me and say that they play my song over and over again, or they have a favorite on my album. That is like, it's not somebody telling them what they're supposed to like.
Right.
Is actually,
Authentic.
authentic. And I feel like that part right there, yes, if a major label comes later, different stuff like that, I'm not knocking it. I've had different situations on the table, but
Right.
this feels so good because I'm actually reaching out and touching people. They actually can reach out and talk to me, and and I'm connecting with so many amazing people. And my biggest prayer is always like, Lord, send me my tribe, my vibe,
Right.
my tribe. And I love that about this part of it, and it's the way the industry is right now. And it's crazy because it's the industry has turned into those major people have to go back to doing this now.
Yeah.
They have to connect with
Mhm.
the artists now. I feel like I'm in a good space because I already been doing that. So I feel
Right.
like it's only up from here. So that's how I look at it.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
you said you did about 30 songs. But
Mm-hmm.
how did you wind down to saying these are the ones that we're putting on an album? Because I'm sure there's some that are like, you know what, they were on the verge, but
Yeah.
it's
I was
not
just
gonna
like,
it's
I'm
not gonna
certain
buy.
ones I'm saving. I'm
Yeah,
saving for the deluxe. Because
yeah.
everybody puts and I love that now. Like I'm taking that, I love seeing that now. So I'm like, okay, it gives it a whole nother life, the project a whole nother life. So
Right.
I'm waiting for probably next month, the next month, I'm going to put out a vinyl with
Okay.
and add some bonus songs on there.
Yeah.
So it'll give it new life, to be able
Yeah.
to have that. And so I have that as merch. But I wanted to give the digital and the digital and streaming
Hmm.
a couple of months. So I dropped it in August. We're in September, so by October I have the vinyl. I feel
Right.
like that
I
will
think
be a
that's a
good
good
thing.
that's a good thing
Yeah.
too because making it, it's a big thing. I mean, I love
Hmm.
vinyls. Me personally.
Yes, me
I love
too.
how nostalgic they are. And even when I see
Yes.
like the cassettes, sometimes I go crazy whenever I see them, even though I can't probably do anything with it. I'm just like, I
it's
have
just
one.
it's just looking at them.
Right.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna do
But
CDs
with the
too.
yeah, the vinyl though, I think also it adds to like your your image.
Hmm.
Because like I said, I like to study whoever I do interviews on or
Uh-huh.
whenever like I meet different people. And just like the vinyl would feel so right, I think, with you, just to like, like it just has
Thank
that
you.
aura about it. So I could definitely
Thank
see
you.
that. Definitely
Yes. I appreciate
happen.
that. Yes. And I can't wait. I love the crackle of the vinyl.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like my first project, I had songs and I made them put the crackle in the beginning, even though it wasn't on vinyl. I
Right.
still wanted that authentic feel.
Yeah,
I just feel like that's where music just felt good. And I'm all about music feeling good and making you feel something. And that's the type of music that I create and want to continue to create.
definitely. So
Yeah.
what we do on this sit down, we have three questions, three
Okay.
final questions for you that we ask
Okay.
you. They're fun. They're set aside.
Okay.
Number one, what are three words that best describe who you are as an individual?
3 words.
Three
Okay.
words. Three separate words or three words combined. People have been creative. Some people are like,
Uh-huh.
no, three words. It's whatever you want them to be.
Mm. That's a okay. Got me thinking.
That
Okay,
it
three
always
words.
gets people. That's why.
That so three words that describe me or
Describe who you are as a person, and it could be like anything.
okay. All right. So I would say authentic,
Okay.
nostalgic,
Okay.
home.
Okay. So let's flip it. Why would you pick home?
So home is you, it's your safe space, right? So I'm that type of person like if you talk to me, you know that you can tell me, and mostly I have this spirit of you feel like home when you're around me, and it's that type of thing where I'm big about being safe,
Mm,
being in a safe space, especially in the world that we are today, and I feel like home is where love is, where you could
right.
be your most authentic self, where you could let loose, and where you could not I have to show up for everybody. Basically,
Right.
home is like where you could just have a conversation like how we're having a conversation now. And a
Right.
lot of and I don't have to speak to you every day. I don't have to be in your face, but the connections that I've made with people is always lasting. It always feels something. They always say, you know what, I love your energy. And I feel like that's a space where I can consider it home. Listen, I've never said that before. It just came
Listen,
out and that's what I
listen.
felt. So
I
yeah.
mean, this is like if we tell people snub is home for people. So definitely
Yes,
that's how it
exactly.
is. And I mean that's good. One, so you were worried about it, but you gave three good ones. So
Yeah. And I feel like you play my record when you get home, you light a
yeah.
candle, it just puts you in a great space, a vibe, and where you could just relax. And so that's why I say home. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So the second one is if you could be in anybody's shoe for 24 hours, who would you want to be in and why? You get 24 hours to put on anybody's shoe and walk in their shoes. Who would you want to do? Past or present?
Anybody's shoe.
Anybody's shoe.
Do they
Past.
have to be human? No, I'm
It could
just
be
kidding.
anything. Hey, I ever had anyone ask that? No, I don't think we have.
You know what? I don't want nobody else's journey. I'll be honest with you. I don't. And but if I had to, I would literally put in my dog's shoes because he sleeps all day. He don't have to worry about nothing. Okay. He wake up, he eat, he sleep. He's well taken care of, very spoiled. So if it was
Right.
24 hours for me not to have to think or do anything but just be and
Right.
sleep all day and leave me alone. Yeah, I was and a pampered dog's
Right.
shoes.
Okay, and the third question, what is something that, whether or not you notice that people have their eyes on us
Mhm.
as being in this industry, they see the work
Yeah.
that we do,
Yeah.
social media is out there. Um,
Yeah.
what do you say to that young person that is looking at you and like, you know what, I want to get to that level. I want to get to where they are in this
Yeah.
moment. What do you say to those individuals?
Oh man, I say this all the time and I say it to myself because even though you guys are seeing this journey, I'm seeing it too. And
Right.
there's days where I'm like waking up and I like yesterday was one of those days where I'm just like this is my life.
Yeah.
Like that little girl in me that started off singing on a choir and just wanting to sing, she's living her like I feel like she would be really proud of me. So I say this to anybody that's continuing to do this. I did this charity event yesterday with a whole bunch of little girls, and what I told them was to keep going.
Yeah.
It's going to be, let me tell you, it's going to be times where you don't want to keep going. It's times that you just want to give up. But every single person from in the industry, from living legends to people just starting out to people who just became famous overnight, we used to think it's overnight, it is just to keep going, to not give up, because right when you're about to give up could be this time that you're gonna make it.
Right.
So I say that to say I'm not where I was when I first started out, when I first was singing Dipset with Dipset, or when I first dropped my first album and did my first video. And it's certain things you think that is gonna be like, oh, I'm about to make it now.
Right.
This person said that I was the next thing. But and then when it doesn't happen that way, I'm opening up for Chris Brown, Fantasia, Monica, Trey Songz, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is it now. And it's not always the case.
Right.
So I say to just keep going. You never know what your tomorrow holds, but live in the present while you're doing it. Don't keep going and just looking at, oh my God, I can't wait to get to my future. Enjoy the present
Right.
because that's what's going to prepare you for your future.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
And our final thing is, what are last words that you want to say, whether it could be about the album,
Okay.
how they can reach you, whatever it is. What are some last words you could tell everybody that's watching the sit down right now?
Hey, first of all, thank you to the Sit Down with Snub Magazine. I'm a huge fan. I can't wait to be in a spread, maybe a cover one day. You know,
Right.
all of the things, all of the things. I already know it's starting. But the last thing that I would say is if you don't remember anything, you know, yes, I have an album, Kept Kissing Frogs. I understand that that's what I put out there. That's the music that I put out there. But it's bigger to me. It's a bigger purpose. And if you don't remember anything, I just want you to remember that you can do anything you put your mind to if your heart and mind is in the right space. And you have to love yourself first in order to get that to that place. So love yourself, continue to push forward to be the best person that you can be. And if you love yourself, I feel like the world would be a better space because you wouldn't treat someone else differently than how you would want to be treated. So that's the last thing that I want to say.
Definitely. And fingers crossed because you're also one of my Grammy sisters. So
Yes.
yeah, fingers
Yes.
crossed. We're in nomination season.
Yes.
So
Yes.
hopefully, we see that
Yep.
come across. We're gonna speak it. And,
Yes, my single is for your consideration. I love myself. It is for your consideration. So if you see it on the ballot, we will hope and pray to have a nomination. But if not, guess what? I'm still gonna keep going
definitely.
and until there is one. But this is the first time in my career of having single music that is considered
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be nominated, and that right there is manifestation itself.
Yeah.
I manifest being a voting member of the Recording Academy, and now I am one. So it's just a matter of time for everything else.
Definitely, definitely. Well,
Yes.
thank you so much for coming on
Yes.
today to sit down. Like I said, we've been working on it for a while. Finally, we're here. Hopefully,
Yes.
there'll be more coming together in the future that we can collab on some things. I know that there will because our schedules
Yes.
are connected. But keep
Definitely.
doing what you're doing. I'm proud of you,
Thank
and
you.
continue. Just keep on making magic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Once again, go get Kept Kissing Frogs. If you see I Love Myself on the ballot, make sure you give it a vote. And other than that, follow me at Bonita Sings. And thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. You have a good one. All right.
All right. You too.
All
Bye.
right.